Week 21 notes. In this video, we're going to talk about identifying and plotting points on the coordinate plane. Probably something you've done already, but we're going to talk about it and cover it thoroughly. So you probably are familiar with plotting points on the number line. Like let's say I have a number line and you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, going that way. And then going this way, we have -1, -2, -3, -4, and I ran out of room for -5. Please write all this, by the way. If you need to pause, please do. So if I were to plot a point on the number line and say, okay, plot -2, I'd plot it right there, right? So we're all familiar with that. Now, what if you had another number line that went vertical? Okay. So instead of just describing one dimension on a line, we have now two dimensions. And we're going to call these axis or axes. Axes is plural, but axis is singular. This is called the the x-axis. This is called the y-axis. You may be familiar with this, you may not be. But when we number the y-axis, the one that goes vertical, the numbers that are here above, actually, I'm going to make those a little more spaced out. Above here, above this x-axis, are going to be positive, and the ones below are going to be negative. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 is still right here. And then -1, -2, -3, -4. And again, I ran out of room for the -5. But right here, what we have? What we have here is a coordinate plane. We have two axes. We have the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay. Now, in the x and y axis, or with the x and y axis, which we always usually label with an X, a fancy little X right there, and then a Y. We have what are known as quadrants or sections of this thing. Okay, and they are numbered. There are 4, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we're just going to label it like that. And we use Roman numerals. This is quadrant 1. This is quadrant 2. This is quadrant 3. And then this is quadrant 4 in Roman numerals. Okay, so it goes from the upper right around counterclockwise down to the lower right. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. Okay, so we kind of have an idea of where we are on the coordinate plane. Okay, now please copy this. An ordered pair. What is that? It describes the location of points on the coordinate plane. So I can plot points on this coordinate plane over here anywhere I want, anywhere I want. Okay, now I have two dimensions, not just one, not just a line, but now two dimensions. I'll plot a point there. I'll plot a point here. Okay, and then maybe I'll plot a point right here. All right. So now that's great, but what if I wanted to describe the location of those points? Well, I would need an ordered pair, you see. Now, here's what an ordered pair is. It's always x coordinate, y coordinate. So what we do is we have it in parentheses, just like this. There's a comma in between. So we're going to describe all of these points. Okay, we're going to describe the location of the points. First, it's the x coordinate that goes here, then the y coordinate. So what is the x coordinate? Well, it's as far as it is this way on this x axis. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as it went. It just went that, well, you saw what I mean, but went this far, okay? Then, so we'll put a 4 there. how far did it go up or down? Okay, so there's the positive direction for the x, and then it went up 1, 2. So that means that is our y coordinate. So this 4, 2 is an ordered pair that describes the location of this point right here. Can you describe the location of the other 2 points? Well, this one over here would be 1 over in the positive direction for x. We always do the x coordinate first. Then how far did it go up or down? Well, it went down this time, so it went down 1, 2, and it's at -2. So that means we're going to have -2 as our y coordinate. How about this one? Well, if you put -2, 1, you would be correct. -2 over to the left, then 1 up. So that's now how we describe these points. So when I give you these ordered pairs, you know exactly where the point is. Okay, now I already kind of gave you some examples up there, but sometimes we like to identify points with letters. Okay, so I'm gonna make a coordinate plane here. And please make one with me. Not perfect, but it's okay. Try and make your lines as straight as possible when you draw these. A ruler is highly recommended. But what I can do is I can say, okay, please graph for me point A, which is going to be at -5, 2. Point B, which is going to be at 3, 1. And then point C, which is going to be at 0, 0. Okay. So A is -5, 2. So I'm going over -5. So 1. So by the way, this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. We always go left and right before we go up and down. So this is the left and right one. This is the up and down one. X coordinate, y coordinate. So for point A, if we want to go to where point A is and label it, we're going to go 5 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 up or down. Well, up because it's positive. 1, 2. So right here is where point A is going to be. Right there. How about point B? Well, it tells us where to put it. So it's going to go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 up. Why don't you try and plot point C if you don't know where it is already? Well, point C is 0, 0. That means it didn't go up or down. It just stayed right here at what we call the origin, which is 0, 0, right? Well, I'm just going to put point C right there. But what we call that is the origin, 0, 0. This is a part of a coordinate plane. It's called the origin. So that's what I mean when I say that. Okay, so we're going to do a few little examples here on your first worksheet here. This is your classwork. Okay, so we're just going to do number 1. What are the coordinates of point A? Okay, well, let's find point A here on this coordinate plane. I see it right here. So remember, it's always x coordinate, y coordinate. So how far did we go over left and how far did we go up? So we went over left 1 from the origin. We always start at the origin when we're counting. Okay, always start at the origin. We go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, and then 1, 2 up. Okay, so that's going to be a -4, and then what? Positive or -2? Positive 2. Okay, so we're looking for -4, 2. Looks like it's D. Okay, so you'll do number 2, identifying point C. How about number 3? What best describes the location of point B? It is in the quadrant it is in quadrant 1, okay? It is in quadrant 3. Let's see if it's in quadrant 1, which describes the location of B. Okay, B is right here. So is it in quadrant 1? Because quadrant 1 is, remember where quadrant 1 is? It's right here in this upper right corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it is. So definitely good. It is in quadrant 3. No, can't be that. It is on the x-axis. No, if it was on the x-axis, it would be like down here, like where point F is. Point F is on the x-axis. It is on the y-axis. Nope, it's not on the y-axis. On the y-axis would be like point C. See, it's right on that axis right here. These lines are called axes. Okay, so it is A. All right, and then we're going to be naming some coordinates like we did earlier in the lesson, and the rest should be pretty self-explanatory. Don't forget that there will be a Delta Math activity to go with this lesson that is going to be graded as well. So good luck with that.